All right, a good Wednesday morning to everybody. Today is the day. The outer bands from Michael will reach central Georgia later on this afternoon. Tropical storm force winds and heavy rain increase in coverage and intensity tonight into tomorrow morning. So any preparations, batteries, flashlights, charge phones need to be done this morning. And it's a beast this morning. Hurricane Michael, Category 4, winds now at 140 miles per hour. It just has that look to it. It's got the buzzsaw, well-defined eye. This is a very dangerous storm. And now, I guess we're several hours away from landfall. That will take place later on this afternoon. So the outer bands already impacting places like Panama City, down to Mexico Beach, Cape San Blas. So the situation already underway down across the Florida Panhandle, but it will only get worse as we head over the next several hours. Here locally, we have a few light showers that kind of drifting through, not directly having to do with Michael, but just kind of on the northern periphery of that. But again, the outer bands themselves could reach us as early as later on this afternoon. So tropical storm warnings now for every county in central Georgia. This is new this morning. If you're watching 13 WMAZ, you are under a tropical storm warning. This is for obviously tropical storm force winds that could be between 40 to upwards of 70 miles per hour, the highest numbers as you go further south. Flooding rain and spin-up tornadoes are possible as well. And I do think the spin-up tornado threat will be the first thing that we initially have to deal with today from the outer bands. So let's look at the track now. Expect it to even strengthen further. Winds of 145 miles per hour possible as this makes landfall early this afternoon. It will then quickly move inland and track directly over top of us here in central Georgia. And you can see with this latest update expected to be a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 75 miles per hour very early Thursday morning, entering the southwestern counties in our viewing area. So hurricane force wind gusts are now within the realm of possibility, especially as you go down to the south and west of Macon. So let's break down the timeline. Outer bands, those arrive this afternoon, and it could be as early as 2 or 3 o'clock, way out ahead of the eye, which will be down making landfall along the Florida Gulf Coast. Wind and rain will ramp up through the evening and overnight hours into Thursday morning, and it's not until late day Thursday that our conditions will start to improve. So let's talk about the timing with the wind and rain once again. Here's future view. By 2 or 3 o'clock, it's either making landfall or has already made landfall. But look up to the north. The outer bands already impacting places like Macon right here in central Georgia. And initially with these outermost bands, we have the potential for number one, heavy rain, gusty winds, and we'll also have to watch closely for any brief spin-up tornadoes. So that will be the initial threat that we have as early as this afternoon. Then we head towards 5 o'clock. Notice the center starting to move onshore, and by 8 o'clock this evening, wind and rain becoming more widespread here across central Georgia. And again, the center of the storm is going to track directly over top of us. So by midnight, I think a lot of us are in the thick of it with tropical storm force winds and very, very heavy rain. That continues as we head towards 3 a.m. and Thursday morning. The good news with this is it will not stall. This thing will move out of here. So we're going to take the direct hit tonight, but it will not stall and linger. And by Thursday afternoon, we actually have improving conditions, and Friday will be nice. So the first thing that we're going to see, the outer bands, and there is the chance for spin-up tornadoes with that. The slight risk of severe weather and the yellow shading for all of our counties here in central Georgia. Tropical tornadoes normally very weak, very short-lived, but we could see those later on today. Here's a look at the probability of winds over 40 miles per hour, so tropical storm force winds. It's pretty much a sure bet for much of our area right now. So 40 mile per hour wind gusts with the upper end there for still stuff over 70 miles per hour. And the probability of hurricane force winds now increasing mainly for our southwestern counties. So I'm talking places like Crisp County into Dooley County, Crawford County as well. Cordele, 51% chance now of seeing hurricane force wind gusts. So here's what that looks like as we put things into motion on the GFS model. Again, this evening, we're ramping up. The peak impacts will likely be overnight tonight into Thursday morning, but moving through fairly quickly. Everybody, as you can see, has the potential to gust over 40 miles per hour. And by late day Thursday, we are improving our situation here. This will be a big time rainmaker for us. Several inches of rain, so we'll be watching for the potential for flooding as well. Here's the 7-day forecast, and you can see the one silver lining for this. Saturday and Sunday, finally nicer weather. We're back with more on Michael after the break.